We were really worried about the Dolphins, but it seems like for now, they're okay. You lose Christian Wilkins, you get Chop Robinson. Once again, kind of a question mark. I don't know. Offensive line, Patrick Paul looks huge. Okay. Jalen Wright, another speedster in there.
Okay.
Have they done enough though? And it's not just the rookies. They're going out there and they're about to get the money from Xavier Howard that comes off as a free agent.
Like in another 3 weeks.
Right, in a couple of weeks. At the same time, also, you get Odell Beckham Jr., another receiver who, if hopefully he's our number 3, and he's going to be the number 3 throughout the year. There's not going to be any injuries. There's not going to be anything, that's going to hinder us from anything like that. But have they done enough? Pro Football Focus has weighed in. Pro Football Network, I'm sorry. Is Miami Dolphins roster better in 2024 than in 2023? Adam Beasley, Bees Knees, always trying to weigh in. Says, remember all the panic after the Miami Dolphins' bleak first day of free agency? It seems a bit foolish now. Sure, the Dolphins roster in 2024 is worse in some ways, but better than others. But it's better than others, which is why our opinion is this. Even with the team's salary cap purge, the expectation in 2024 should be no lower than they were last year. Another postseason appearance is a must, and a deep playoff run is not out of the realm of possibility. Vlad, I know what you're going to say. Is that what we're doing? Having another season like last season? Is that our goal?
I don't think you should try to have another season like last season. This is year 3 of McDaniel.
Yeah.
You've been to the playoff both years. You've gone 0-2 in those playoffs. You've lost 2 times.
More of the same?
Can't have a season like last season. You got to. The AFC East is up for grabs this year, like more so than any year before. Last year, you had the AFC
Buffalo
in your hands.
Right, yeah. I mean, you had
the division title was in your hand
for a couple weeks too.
But you had the game against the kings of the division. You could have beaten them and let them know that, hey, it's a new time, and you did it. You lost. You let a special teams punt return touchdown that beat you. Their team has lost a lot of key players, significant players. As a matter of fact, you got one of their significant players in your secondary right now.
Yeah. Poyer.
So it is time.
Okay.
It is time to make a claim, stake your claim, and say that you're the new king to this division. You got to get the Josh Allen owns you narrative out. You got to get that out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's personally going to happen because I think there's a team in New York that's going to win the division.
All right.
But the Dolphins cannot think like last season was just good enough. No, even if you go 11-6, I don't mind if you have the same record.
If you have a worse record and you win a playoff game, that's better.
I don't mind if you're 10-7 or 11-6, but you got to win a playoff game.
Got to win a playoff game.
You got, what I'm saying? Even if 10-7 wins you the division and you host a playoff game and you win that game and you get to the divisional round, or even if you're, say you have a better season, because a better season is more expectations. Mm-hmm. So to say that you are the number 1 seed in the conference, you get the bye week, conference championship, Super Bowl. Yeah, like, dude, 2 seasons, 2 postseason appearances, 2 losses.
Yeah.
Nah.
To me, the regular season, whatever, get in the playoffs, win a playoff game, it's a successful season. But Pro Football Network, Adam Beasley breaks down the positions, quarterbacks basically the same. Tua Tagovailoa, Mike White, Skylar Thompson. They have a Galvin Hardison working. It's a push. It's a running back room. Of course, you had Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, Jeff Wilson Jr., Salvon Ahmed, Chris Brooks, Myles Gaskin. This year, you have Mostert, Achane, Jalen Wright, who everybody loves, Jeff Wilson Jr., Salvon Ahmed, Chris Brooks. You would say that a little bit better this year, questionably better this year, Vlad, because the only real addition that really changed is Jalen Wright, and you lost Myles Gaskin. Yeah, that's okay. Wide receivers, this year, given a little bit more of an edge because you have Odell Beckham Jr., and it's basically the same couple guys except for Cedric Wilson Jr., who is going to the Saints. Odell Beckham Jr. probably a little better than Cedric Wilson Jr., although I did like Cedric Wilson Jr., so you give that. The tight end room, that's the one that a lot of people were upset about and thought maybe we should have drafted better, but we got Jonnu Smith, and they like Julian Hill, so they're saying this year they're giving the edge to 2024. Offensive line, ooh, who do you think got a better offensive line, last year's team or this year's team? You still got your anchor in Teron Armstead, Isaiah Wynn, he's going to be back.
Okay.
Connor Williams is gone, Robert Hunt is gone, but you still have Austin Jackson, Kendall Lamb, Patrick Paul, Liam Eichenberg. The rest of the guys, they're giving a slight edge to last year's offensive line. Patrick Paul, we've heard, is a project, even though he is huge. So you feel a little bit about defensive line. Now, this is going to be interesting. Who gets the edge? Is it because you lose?
Last year's defense, listen, with all the injuries that happened last year that's going to go into the season, you're going to go with last year. In fact, and number one, it's always going to be last year's line because guess what? This year's line doesn't have 94.
That's true. That's the reason why you're going to have to give the edge to the defensive line in 2023 because of Christian Wilkins. But Zach Sealer is back. That's a positive right there.
Okay, who else?
That's about it.
That's it. You lost. You don't have Bradley Chubb. You don't have Jalen Phillips because of injuries, due to injuries.
And don't
you
tell
lost,
me about Tier Tart.
And you lost Christian Wilkins and you lost Van Ginkel due to free agency.
Well, yeah, this is the edge rushers. You got Jalen Phillips. He's injured. Bradley Chubb, he's injured. Andrew Van Ginkel, he's gone. Cameron Good, it's like, goodness gracious. So now we got Jalen Phillips once again injured. Bradley Chubb injured. Shaq Barrett's good. Chop Robinson,
he's older.
Muhammad Kamara, we like him in college, but we just don't know. So the edge is, they're going to say a push. I would still give the edge to 2023 simply for the Vlad, 4 of our top 5 guys on the edge are huge question marks. Jalen Phillips injured, Bradley Chubb injured, Chop Robinson never played a snap in the NFL, Muhammad Kamara never played a snap in the NFL. Okay, I'm not talking myself into feeling a little bit better anymore now.
Oh, and you have a new defensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah, Anthony Weaver. That's right. On a defense that was really good last year, too, I thought, despite everybody hating Vic Fangio. Oh, man. I've been seeing Duke Riley around a lot, too, lately. I just see him. He's one of the linebackers, and we're saying that we're giving the edge to this year's linebacking crew, even though we lost Jerome Baker, got David Long Jr. still, Jordan Brooks, Anthony Walker, Cam Brown, Channing Tindall, Duke Riley. Okay. And then the cornerbacks, you lost Xavier Howard. You know that. You still have Jalen Ramsey. Once again, huge question mark. Is Cam Smith going to be our guy? Was he in the doghouse for a reason? Because of his play or because Vic Fangio just didn't like him? I don't know. But
here's a question. If Anthony Weaver doesn't have the defense near the same position where Vic Fangio did, or are you is the fan base gonna be upset?
You're gonna have to call him out. You're gonna have to call out Anthony Weaver.
And because if the Eagles defense is better than the Dolphins defense this year.
And you can't say, well, it's Anthony Weaver's first year. Vic Fangio only got 1 year.
That's a storyline to look at.
Vlad, real name or not a real name? Storm Duck.
Not a real name.
That is a guy who is on the cornerback's room for the Miami Dolphins this year so far. He hadn't been cut yet.
What's his name?
Storm Duck. You know who else is in that room? Real name or fake name? Ethan Boner. It's Bonner, but you know. Are these real names? Hold up. Storm Duck, Ethan Boner, Isaiah Johnson. I can make a joke. Siren Neal. Is Siren Neal going to make a difference on this team? I want a Storm Duck jersey, but I don't want just Duck on the back. I want Storm Duck on the back. It's a real name. Safety Javon Holland was hurt last year. That's got me a little worried. But you did get Jordan Poyer. Got to be excited about that. They give the 2023 safety room a better. Brandon Jones did leave the team. Yes, that is true. Jordan Poyer, though, he might help us kind of figure out those old Buffalo Bills, his former team. Javon Holland has to stay healthy, too, this year. And then special teams, come on. It's going to be a push. Jason Sanders, Jake Bailey, Blake Ferguson, they're back. So a lot of question marks on this team. But that's why we're in this part of the year. We're having rookie camps. Well, there are going to be a lot of question marks. I would feel much, much better if Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips wouldn't have gotten hurt last year. And they say, oh, they're going to be back sooner than than you expect. It's like, that doesn't make me feel good. Does that unnerve you a little bit, Vlad? that we're gonna have Chop Robinson and Muhammad Kamara in there,
No.
and Shaq Barrett making plays from the edge, and hope we can figure it out until Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb get there.